Have you ever taken fen? I bet just hearing that word elicits a visceral response. Join us. We're going to go through it.
I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening.
Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and this is the third podcast in a series called Code Red versus blank. And we're filling in the blank with all kinds of diets. And we're going through the good, the bad, the ugly. Because you'll notice in Weight Watchers, we actually went through the things that were good about it. You'll notice that in Beachbody and Shakeology, we went through the things that were good about it. I mean, we certainly ripped it a new one in certain areas, especially the shakes. I got a real problem with those shakes. But we're not holding back our opinion. We're also bringing you facts, and I'm really glad, sis, that you're joining me on this episode of Code Red versus blank, because we're going to go into fen and phen, and then no, it's not. Did I say that wrong? Oh, it's
phenfen.
Oh, well, then why don't you just take the floor here and you give us some background and what the heck are we doing? Because I think I know that it's a derivative of methamphetamine, but could you please just break it down for us?
Well, fen was really popular in the 90s. And Cristy, I took the combination of fen. Now, phen stands for phentermine and fen stands for fenfluramine. And in phentermine itself if you guys see me looking off to the right, it's just because I'm looking at my notes. I just want to make sure I get it all right. So phentermine is an amphetamine. It revs your body up. It's not necessarily a methamphetamine.
Oh, right.
But
I said it wrong.
Yeah, so it absolutely, the phentermine activates the fight or flight system. And the reason they put fenfluramine with it was it kind of counteracted the bad things that happened with phentermine. So they were put together. So phentermine itself came out in 1959, Cristy. It was first approved by the FDA. And so phentermine is a chemical stimulant that works in the same way as amphetamines. It revs you up, it gets you going. I mean, methamphetamine is a form of that. It's just a little bit different, but same idea. And then in 1994, they came out with fenfluramine, which is fenfluramine. So fenfluramine is the sister to phentermine, and it is a non-addictive drug, and it contains a derivative of fenfluramine, which releases lots of serotonin all at once in your body, like a massive serotonin dump. I mean, so you got the phentermine revving you up and the fenfluramine, which gives you lots of serotonin, which helps with a lot of brain functions, but helps satiety. Is that the word? How you say satiated?
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird word. I want to say it like 8 different ways. So it helps with satiety and helps kind of combat the effects of each other. That was the idea. Using them together, Cristy, was an off-label use. And in 1995, it's when it came on the market together, and it went crazy. I mean, it was so popular. Do you remember it coming out in the 90s?
I don't remember it coming. Yeah, I do remember. I just didn't take it back then.
Right. I did take it in 1997. I took it and I went to a little office, and some guy was the pharmacist and the physician. Now, this is back before I was a nurse. I should have had a few red flags that the guy could give me the drug and prescribe it to me. I paid my money. He checked my heart rate, blood pressure, and that was it. Like, it wasn't like there was no blood work, nothing. And so problems with that combo started to come up right away, Cristy. In 1997, there were a lot of unusual valvular defects and heart problems that started to come up. And there were a ton of them. They were saying 175,000 cases. Now, there's some controversy, of course, about, oh, well, we don't think they did their echocardiograms the right way, or we don't know if did they have something before. So there's a lot of controversy about whether the fenfluramine was what they're talking about. Fenfluramine aspect of it caused problems. There is a doctor that said, to this day, I remain concerned about the neuropsychiatric effects, mood changes, memory loss, and so on. I don't think it's ever been fully explored. And they're talking about the fenfluramine releasing all that serotonin at once. So they believe that that was the drug, the FEN of fen-phen, caused a lot of problems. So they had lawsuits, they paid out a ton of money, and it was pulled from the market. So FEN, fenfluramine, was pulled, but phentermine still is around, and it was wildly popular. And my own personal experience, Cristy, I lost a ton of weight. Go ahead.
That's what I was going to ask before. When you took the however, the middle one, the second one, what happened in 97? How did it go?
Right. Fen-phen, in 97, of course, kind of at the height of it, right before it got pulled. It was wonderful. I mean, you had so much energy. I mean, I'll be honest, it was great. Being a little bit of a type A personality, I kind of tend to be a little bit wound up anyway. Well, it wound me up even more. So you took the phentermine in the morning. Okay. And then you took the fenfluramine in the evening. So one to rev you up, one to bring you down. The extra serotonin makes you feel full, but you're still activating that fight or flight system. So that caused a lot of problems. But yeah, it worked great. I lost tons of weight because you go, and you don't eat, just like people that do meth. Let's be honest. I mean, they don't eat. They get super skinny. Their teeth fall out. They have lots of other problems. I don't think meth is like phentermine, but it all comes from that same base. So that is what happened. That's what happened. That was my experience with phentermine. The minute I quit taking it, I gained all my weight back because you haven't addressed the real problem. But a lot of people still take the phentermine side of fen-phen. Have you, on Code Red, I have noticed a lot of people that are still taking phentermine.
What? I did not know that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot of people. There was a pharmacologist from University of Rochester in 1983, and he said, if you put both of these together, it'll work. However, people still have clung to the phentermine side. A lot of people, it's one of the weight loss drugs that's out there. A lot of people are still taking phentermine. It's cheap. It's easy to get. A lot of people still get home study programs, and on their medications, they list phentermine.
Oh my!
I can't believe you didn't know that. I thought I told you that.
I guess I'm naive. I guess I don't know, because Cari, when I took it 12 years ago, and my doctor gave it to me when I came in for a normal checkup, and I was fat, and I couldn't understand because I was riding my road bike a lot, and I was exercising a lot. I was personal trainer. I was teaching spin class. Well, I couldn't sleep on it. I mean, it was the greatest stuff in the world, as far as getting things done, and it just made me happy. I would take it in the morning and I would be happy, and I'd be like, zip, 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 zip. I mean, I heard somebody say, I always knew my mom and dad were cycling through meth, because my drug addict parents, they said, because every time I come home from school, the house would be spotless. And I knew my mom was on meth because she'd just stay up for 3 solid days in a row. So I had a real hard time sleeping. And that is why I couldn't fall asleep for 3 days.
And that's why they put the fenfluramine with it. However, what's very interesting, Cristy, is that the combo wasn't actually that effective. The combination puts people in a better mood, but you keep the longer you stay on the food, on the medication, the more you stay away from indulgent food. But a clinical trial found that people using the drug experienced only a 3% weight loss on average. But that didn't keep people from trying it, Cristy, because in 1996, the number of prescriptions for fen-phen was 18 million prescriptions in 1996. 18 million people tried Phen Fen, which explains why 175,000 people, I mean, if you have 18 million live stats, just shows you a percentage of them aren't going to have that healthy of cardiac status anyway, coming into it. They're obese. You know, not everyone's 19 taking this stuff. Not all of them are athletes taking this stuff. So it makes sense that they would have the valvular heart disease show up in 175,000 average of cases is what I don't have an exact number, but 18 million people in 1996 tried Phen Fen, or at least got prescriptions of Phen Fen.
But don't you become habituated to it the longer you take it and then it loses its efficacy?
I would imagine so. It's sort of like taking Dexatrim or anything. It's like taking caffeine, or any of those that are on the market, you know, Diet Slim, I mean, after a while, our bodies love to adapt. That's why people that run 5 miles every day on this exact same path, yeah, they can run 5 miles, but they haven't really challenged their body. Their bodies are highly adaptive. I learned that from Cristy Code Red.
Well, I guess I don't know why people, because I know it does, you're not hungry. I wasn't hungry when I would take it. And so I would get a lot of energy. I would be super happy. I would be chatty Cathy. And then I wouldn't eat all day long. I would be cotton mouth. I'd be super thirsty. So I got in my water. And guys, this was before I did Code Red, before I created Code Red. I was super desperate. I was super unhappy. And and I was fat. That's how Code Red was born, because I didn't have any answer until I read Dr. Mark Hyman's book, Eat Fat, Get Thin. So I took phentermine. But then of course the sleeping problems made it to where I couldn't do it, but I wasn't hungry. And then the more I took it, the less effective it was at keeping me not hungry.
Yeah. And I think that's a problem with drugs in general. I mean, the more you take hydrocodone, the less it works. The more you take the Benadryl, we've talked about that, the less it works. It works great at first. You think Ambien's the best thing under the sun. Well, then the amount you have isn't good enough. The prescription's not high enough. So it's very typical with drugs and alcohol and cigarettes and sugar. Is the more you do it, the more you become habituated to it. Now, right now for phentermine, what it says on the site is that nobody should take phentermine for more than 12 weeks. It's not a long-term solution, but we know that people are taking it for years. You know, it's the same reason why, a little bit different, why people wake up and say, oh, I gotta get that first cup of coffee, and you pop a phentermine pill and you ain't stopping till 10 p.m. at night. And a lot of people have the problem like Cristy, where they cannot sleep. And that is a huge problem with a lot of diet pills. I mean, if I take a Sudafed, like a pseudoephedrine, not a phenylephrine, I mean, I am like, my head itches and my whole house is spotless, and I don't eat all day.
Well, I guess I don't know why someone would do a home study program and do the 2 meals a day that we do. You know, we have specific calories, and we want everybody to eat at the top of their calorie range when they first start, because we want you to eat as much as you can get away with it first. I don't know how they're able to do that if it curbs their hunger. But then now that I hear that it loses its efficacy the longer you're on it, then I guess they're able to, I don't know why they're doing it at that point. Like if it's kind of not as effective.
Well, because you keep thinking that there's going to be a pill that's going to do it for you. You keep thinking that there's going to be a magic bullet. And, you know, I was just talking to someone today, and I just said, there is no magic bullet. Nobody gets a free ride. And even the pills, Cristy, even the phentermine has terrible side effects. Let me tell you some of them. Trouble sleeping, just like Cristy had, feeling restless, especially if you're a type A person like me and you're a little bit wound up, this is going to push you over the edge. Dry mouth, headaches. A lot of people get accelerated heartbeats, like taking the energy drinks, nausea, constipation. Some people get diarrhea. Some people can't poop. Some people poop too much. Changes in libido is a big problem. Your blood pressure, of course, if your heart rate is going up, if you're stimulating your sympathetic nervous system, you're going to have an increase in blood pressure. So a lot of people that have hypertension to begin with, and they're heavy, and they may have cardiac problems, absolutely should not be taking Fen-Phen, or should not be taking phentermine. A lot of people get tremors. Some people get psychosis, and this is when they might have mental confusion, and sometimes they even have hallucinations. So it's interesting. we'll be talking more about these meds that are out on the market right now for weight loss, but it's very interesting. The side effects are horrible. Watery diarrhea, nausea and vomiting. Like, really? You can eat eggs and bacon and lose all the weight you want, but you got to take a pill. And it's hanging on to this idea that a pill is going to save you. That's what Phen Fen is preying on desperate people. It did prey. And the other problem is pulmonary hypertension, heart disease. Pulmonary hypertension is when you have high blood pressure in the lungs, and it makes your heart, it makes you breathe. I thought I felt a tick. It's tick season in Kentucky. I thought I felt a tick come. I'm going to look. Okay, we're clear. Sorry about that. Tick break, everyone. Tick break. It's no joke in Kentucky. You can look down and see a tick on you. So it's harder for you to breathe. And also it makes your heart and your lungs work too hard. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but Weight Watchers, the Shakeology shakes, Phen Fen, phentermine, Dexatrim's an old one, all those pills. It just isn't the magic bullet that you're hoping. I wish there were a magic bullet, Cristy. I do. I wish there was something that we could take and we say bippity boppity boo and it solved all our problems. But I'm just here to tell you, it doesn't exist. Everything that comes out in the market, they say, this is the magic. This might be a breakthrough diet pill, a breakthrough diet program, a breakthrough, unprecedented. But I got to tell you, the numbers just don't add up long-term with all of these things.
Well, it certainly doesn't get to the root cause. And that's why, and I hope we do one on weight loss surgery, sis, because they'll talk about still having a hard set of rules for the rest of your life to have to follow. And there just really isn't. And now we have a pill out. Maybe we'll go through that. We've got a pill out that makes you nauseous after you eat. Kind of like on the Hunger Games or something.
It's a shot.
It's a shot. Oh, sis, it makes you throw up your food or just makes you nauseous?
Oh, it makes you so nauseated people don't eat it. There's several out there right now. And I see them all over social media. It's just amazing to me. And the problem is that, like Cristy said, there are a lot of good things that came from Phen Fen, not Phen Fen, but phentermine. I believe there are some good things. If someone was a very low energy person, if I'm looking for good things, I suppose this would give you more energy. But I would put it out there that losing the weight and getting on a program like Code Red would absolutely give you more energy just innately. So you don't have to remember your pills. And then that way you aren't feeling so low on the days you don't take it. That's what happens on the days that people don't do meth, on the days that people don't have their amphetamines, on the days that people don't have their caffeine or their green tea, crazy caffeine supplement. They don't feel good. So you're letting a pill control your life. And that's what happened with Phen Fen. And that's what continues to happen with phentermine. But I do believe for some people, it did bring some energy. Is it authentic energy or is it forced energy? You're putting a lot of stress on your sympathetic nervous system to take this medication. Even those of you out there that are taking it now, if it were working, you would not have purchased a home study program from Code Red. You would not be in the 10-pound takedown. You probably wouldn't be listening to this podcast right now. It doesn't move the needle like you think it's going to, and it really could have some long-term consequences.
Before we hit the record button, I was just talking to Cari, and I said I'm 6 weeks post show where I had my massive 8-month transformation, and we finished up filming for the show, and I'm 6 weeks, and I said, sis, I told her, I said, I'm really struggling this week. And it's been hard coming off that show and being having doctor's orders to rest and refeed, but having to do it strategically because my body needed a rest and I needed to continue to build up my food volume, but you want to do it slowly. And so I've been on low exercise, very, very little exercise, a very controlled diet. And I said, sis, it's just getting harder. And I noticed that this week has been, the hardest so far to keep my food under control. And I said I said to you, Cari, I said, I just have to have a long, hard talk with my coach about how I'm struggling right now. And that's what we do on Code Red. We make you come face to face with the reality. We put up a mirror in front of your face and you have got to come face to face with your issues, with the root problem, we don't stick our head in the sand and act like it ain't happening. We know it's happening. I'm putting on my clothes. I can feel the clothes are getting tighter. I'm like, oh boy. Okay, it's time to come face to face with reality. And when you're taking these pills or doing these different programs that we're going through, you are not coming face to face with the root cause and the bigger issue here. You are sticking your head in the sand and you're acting like it ain't happening. And I got to have that hard conversation with my coach and say, I'm struggling. It's really, we need to make a change. I need something here. I need to get past this because it's getting out of control. And that's what I love about Code Red. We make you come face to face we make you have that hard conversation.
I think the hard conversation comes after someone decides to make a change, because the Bible says hope deferred makes the heart sick. And I have to tell you that after being morbidly obese for a lot of years, I felt like I didn't have any hope. I felt like there was not hope. And when Cristy and I when I first started working for Cristy had been doing Code Red for a while. We used to send out people's custom program in a flat rate box, a priority mail flat rate box. And we called them, does anybody remember? It's old school Code Red. We called them boxes.
Wait. Write it in the box. Stop this video. And if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. Do you guys remember what it is? Comment below if you remember what it was called.
So we used to call them boxes of hope. And I would lay my hands on the box, and it had your booklets. It had a cookbook. It just had a bunch of fun stuff.
Water bottle. Yeah.
Water bottle. Yeah, that's right. I forgot we had the water bottle. I used to spiral, put the binding on each booklet with your numbers in it. And I would lay my hands on it and I would pray, Lord, give Bobby in New Jersey hope. Lord, give Betty in California hope. Lord, give, Sally in North Dakota, give her hope, because I understand what it feels like to be so low that you have to reach up to touch the bottom. I understand what it feels like to cry because nothing fits you in your closet. I understand what it feels like to hide from every picture. I see my friends online, Cristy, and they're on vacation and they won't put pictures of themselves, or they lean way over. And I get all that. I'm not judging anybody that is struggling. I am not judging anybody. I understand that. And what happens is you sink so low. You say, there's no hope for me. You say, there's nowhere for me to go. You say, nothing is ever going to work. You say, I'm always going to be fat. Just like our mom said, I'm going to be the fat grandma. And we believe these lies, Cristy, and we begin to think there's no hope. And what happens is these companies come in, and truly, phentermine, the pharmaceutical industry, and even now with all these new drugs, I mean, there's so many of them, and we'll go through them, but phentermine was just the tip of the iceberg of giving people false hope. So people see it, they think it's going to be helpful because it's from the pharmaceuticals, it's approved by the FDA, and we just reach out and we grab on, we hang on to the hope that maybe this time it'll work. Maybe this time it'll stick. It's not from a lack of you not having willpower. It's not from a lack of you not wanting to be heavy anymore. I understand. It's from a lack of just not understanding what actually works. That's what it is. And like Cristy said, having that hard talk with yourself. So don't believe the lies that phentermine may have sold you back in the 90s, and they still want to sell you with just phentermine itself. Fen back in the 90s, phentermine now. Don't believe those lies. Because the power to change, the power to be different, the power to make a big, huge, take your life back difference, it's in you. It's truly not in a pill bottle. It's not in a shake. It's not in a cookbook that they may send you. And it's not in a workout.
And also realizing what got you in this mess in the first place. You've got to come face to face with that so that you can identify what it is and don't repeat that again. That's what I've been going through in my mind the last couple of days when things have started, my body's starting to change rapidly. And I'm looking in the mirror like, And so what I'm walking backwards in my mind and I'm thinking, instead of just blaming PMS or blaming, blame it, I'm going, okay, what really has been going on? You've been going to breakfast too many times at the diner and having anything you want. You've been like, and I'm starting to identify what got me in this mess in the first place. And I think it's really important that you identify what it is that caused this mess that you're in. And I like when people say it out. When someone does a post on one of our coaching groups, you can always be in the private network, and we're having challenges back on Facebook. The best way to know what we're doing next is always be on our email list, coderedlifestyle.com/email. But when someone's like, made a mistake, back on track now, I go, and I've taught the coaches and mentors do this. Hold on, Sally, what happened? Where did you go wrong? And I want to either hear it with my voice. I want to hear if I'm on a video with them, or I want them to type it in the box and tell me where they went wrong. In fact, if you're watching on YouTube, type in the box where you went wrong to get yourself in the mess that you were in. And I want to see that they recognize it. And I also want to see where their head is. Like if they're saying, don't know, I have no idea, I'm doing everything right, don't know. That is such BS. You do know, and you've got to be able to articulate it so you don't come back around and repeat that mistake again.
And phentermine is not going to fix that. That's the bottom line. Shakeology is not going to fix it. A workout's not going to fix it. It has to be you facing you and deciding that you don't need things in a bottle to make a difference. You don't have to. Everyone thinks that they get it from their doctor. Somehow it's going to be safer and better for you. And Cristy offers you bacon, eggs, and avocado. Cristy offers you a different way of life. Code Red offers you hope, boxes of hope. But you have to reach out and take it and stop putting your faith in a pill. For any of you that are still doing Code Red and taking phentermine, I would encourage you to let go of the crutch, to let go of that crutch. Any of you that are doing Code Red and going hard 7 days a week for an hour at the gym, trying to make it to where you can have your keto snacks. I'm just letting you know they're all crutches. And the root of the problem is our addiction to food. The root of the problem is thinking that we're special, we're different. And also that lack of hope, Cristy. I see that and it breaks my heart. I was talking to someone who's regained a little bit of weight, and they just kept saying, I saw this number and I was like, well, like the number on the scale go up. And then I saw this number and I was like, well, and then I saw this number and it's like, where? Stop. Where do you put your big toe in the sand and say here and no more? And Cristy offers you in this amazing program something so much more than whatever crap you can get in a jar, in a bag, a powder, a pill, any of it. And you don't have to worry about blood pressure and psychosis and heart disease and pulmonary hypertension and diarrhea. I mean, good Moses, we'll do anything to ourselves except for quit eating our crap and eat real food. Right, Cristy?
100%. And a lot of you guys say, yeah, but I know what to do. I know what to do, but you ain't doing it. And the great thing about Code Red VIP program with me is that I talk to you throughout the day in real time, right to your phone. I'm going to send you messages right before Cari got on here, right before we were recording this. I was on the phone with my VIP group and I was saying, guys, I mean, whatever time of the day it is, there's something going on with you. I know, sis, that I'm across this. I live in a high rise at the top of a hotel. I can see across the building into the building next to me. They have a company break room in there. It's so close to me that I can actually see what they're eating. And I know they go into the vending machine. I know when the boss brings in pizza for a late night meeting. And I know when someone brings in every Friday donuts to the break room. I can see it. I can see it. I can see them all in there eating it. And so I jump on my phone and I'm like, guys, if you work a traditional job right now, you're having that 2 o'clock lull. Don't give in to the caramel macchiatos and cake pops. And sometimes just hearing my voice and being with you throughout every day, all day, every day is what you need to just step through this whole transformation that you're going through. And you're going to continue to transform your mind. You're going to continue to rewire the decades of misinformation and lies and the brainwashing. And you can do this. You can get through this. So if you want to stay connected to me, coderedlifestyle.com/VIP, at least check that out. And, we'll be able to come face to face with the reality instead of just trying to take a pill and covering up the mistake and the mess.
Somebody said to me the other day, Cristy, they said, well, I'm the kind of person that has to eat all the food on my plate, or I'm the kind of person that needs, example, the phentermine to keep me going. Well, I'm the kind of person that can't drive by a Taco Bell. Listen, you don't have to be that kind of person. You do not have to be that kind of person. And when that person said that to me, I stopped them in their tracks and I said, whoa, wait a minute. You don't have to be that kind of person anymore. So don't give me that baloney. Like, well, I'm the kind of person that, or I always stop. You don't have to be that kind of person anymore. But like Cristy said, you got to come face to face with your bull crap, and you got to realize your answer is not in a pill bottle. And look, 175,000 people had valvular heart disease because of a pill, and they were desperate for hope. They were desperate, but it was just the wrong place.
100 million people in this country are obese. Actually, 100 million people are obese in this country, 2/3. So that'd be 225 million people are overweight. We got a real serious problem here, guys. And we're going to come around you and love you. And you need to understand that it's like Cari said, it's not in a pill. And maybe this podcast made you uncomfortable because none of us are proud of our past decisions. I mean, some of us have got a lot of crap in our past. Believe me, you don't have to dig too far hard to find dirt on me. It's pretty close, pretty evident. But and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to know that we all took this in the past. But let's bring it to light. Let's make our skeletons dance, and let's just not repeat those mistakes again.
I love it.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, Code Red versus Phen Fen. And I'll spell it right when I go to fill out my paperwork. When I go to fill out the stuff for the podcasting guy, I'll spell it right. I didn't know it was F-E-N at the end, but we all know what it is, and bringing light to it hopefully is going to make it to where we don't want to repeat that bull crap. None of us do. And I fell prey to this, and so did Cari, because we all get desperate. We're more similar than we are different. We will see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you are looking for some hardcore accountability to get and keep this weight off, look no further, because I've got VIP Connection. This is the ultimate connection to me, just short of me sleeping on your couch. You're going to get 3 daily messages from me in real time directly to you. You're going to submit your weight every Friday. We're going to go over it in a weekly meeting on Sunday nights, and I'm going to give you feedback. You'll have access to a monthly VIP breakfast with me in Boise, a monthly VIP supplement box, access to any workshop, any PDF promo that I hold for that month. You'll have access to the Ringside membership. And best of all, you'll have a fully customized nutrition program written just for you. We're talking about over $3,000 total value for $397 a month, and you can cancel anytime. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/VIP to check that out.